What separates a poem from a grocery list? It's not just the words, it's the architecture. If an essay is a functional brick house, a poem is a cathedral, built with an intense focus on pattern, resonance, and sound. It's language made into music. Let's start with the rooms of the poem, stanzas. The word stanza literally means room in Italian. These blocks of text, separated by white space, are deliberate. That silence gives you a moment to breathe, to process one idea or mood before stepping into the next. Within these rooms, you find the music of echoes. Rhyme isn't just decoration, it creates expectation. When we hear one sound, our brain craves its partner. Poets use this to create satisfaction, or they can break the pattern to create a feeling of shock or unease. But beneath the rhyme is the poem's invisible heartbeat, its meter. The most famous is iambic pentameter, a rhythm that sounds like this: da-dum, 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 da-dum. Think of Shakespeare, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" It's popular because it mimics the natural cadence of spoken English and even the rhythm of our own pulse. Finally, a poet controls your very breath with the line break. A line that ends with a period is an end stop. It's a full pause, a complete thought. But when a sentence spills over from one line to the next, that's called enjambment. It creates momentum, a sense of hurry or even suspense, forcing your eye forward to see what happens next. In great poetry, form always follows feeling. A chaotic, enjambed poem might capture grief, while a perfectly structured sonnet conveys devotion. These techniques aren't just rules to be memorized. They are the container for the most intense human emotions, and by understanding the container, we get a deeper appreciation for the liquid lightning held inside.